is The Brain Truth with Allison Jordan. This is The Brain. Renew, reclaim, and now your host, Allison Jordan. This is The Brain Truth with Allison Jordan.
That's my favorite song, y'all. That's my single. I don't know why it keeps cutting off. I feel like I want to just dance to it. You know what I mean? Just dance to it. Yeah, get into it. Get into it. I'm going to get some words too. Somebody got to write me something, Jesse. All right, everybody. Welcome to The Brain Truth with me, Allison Jordan, on intellectualradio.com and iHeart radio station. I am so excited about today's show. Only because I got a superstar sitting next to me. I'm trying to stay calm a little bit. But first, I want to welcome you to the show. As you know, we are The Brain Truth. And I have to read a short disclaimer from The Brain Truth and my Brain Gang. The Brain Truth does not serve the purpose of providing medical treatment or therapy services, diagnosis, prevention, or cure for any physical, mental, or emotional issue, disease, or condition. As a member of our audience, you agree that The Brain Truth does not assume liability for any physical or mental disease, condition, or issue, or any other type of loss or damage due to any information shared on our broadcast. Okay, yay, that's our disclaimer. Yes. We're going to ask some people. I don't know if you have any family guests, but we always welcome people to call into the studio. So write this down, because sometimes I give the number wrong. So I'm going to say it like twice, maybe 3 times. The number is 708-223-8953. Let me look over here now. 708-223-8953. Write that down. Keep that with you. Now I want to thank my sponsors, because I got some sponsors, y'all. Gemini Labs, which is in a partnership with Swabs and Swirls, which is a company I founded with Dr. Rita McGuire. And we go out and we give these rapid COVID tests. And we all got a rapid COVID test today. So we can all kiss and hug each other. We're all are you COVID free? Everybody yes. I need to verify. I need to see the test. So I got to remind her, I need to see the paperwork, see the receipts. Okay. Anyway, if you guys are ever looking for a rapid COVID test for a party, your first date with somebody you don't know, a family gathering, go to the club, call us or email us at swabsandswirls@gmail.com. swabsandswirls@gmail.com. And the phone number is 708-545-2446. 708-545-2446. I also want to give a shout out to Dr. Rita Lifestyles, NAMI South Suburbs, which I'm a board member of, and River Edge Hospital, who just became a sponsor. Now, you guys remember, that's the hospital that I stayed at for 19 days. They're an official sponsor. See how God work? And I want to read something that's going on at River Edge Hospital. River Edge Hospital will be hosting a trunk or treat on Saturday, October 23rd, in the parking lot at 83 Roosevelt Road, Forest Park, 60130 from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please email the Director of Business Development, Fatima, Fatima, Villasenor, Villalsenor @uhsinc.com. Participation is free, but registration is required to secure a spot. If you missed all that, just call River Edge Hospital, okay? Google it. All right. And I want to say Epic Arts and Entertainment, Brain Truth Wakana. We had Dr. Rita on last week with the great CBD products. So go to wakana.com and D-Champs. All right. Let's get into today. Let's just get into it. I'm so excited. I want to introduce the guests for the show. The first guest is James Bell. James Bell is a widower who was shot twice in the head, blinded, and left to raise 7 kids alone. He's been featured on several shows, including The Doctors, and also he's in pre-production on his first feature film, and he's got a documentary that's in production right now with the Chicago Sun-Times. He's going to be sharing his story of pain, trauma, and overcoming obstacles with us tonight. And as we do it here on The Brain Truth, when we have these very provocative stories We always want to have support from the Brain Gang. Now, remember, the Brain Gang are my group of gang members who are here to heal and to help support when we're speaking to people who have gone through some trauma. So tonight we have one of our Brain Gang members. Her name is Emily Shelton. And Emily is a licensed therapist. Did I get that right? And she's our in-house producer for the Brain Truth. And she's a licensed professional counselor, certified alcohol and drug counselor, certified recovery support specialist, trained in cognitive behavioral therapy and dialectical behavioral therapy. Did I say that correct? DBT. And she's also a board member with me for NAMI South Suburbs as well. She's our secretary. So welcome, Emily, and welcome, James, to the show. Now, tonight's topic is going to be a little intense, maybe. He's going to be sharing his truth. So if you're a little sensitive about things that are kind of hard, I suggest I don't want to tell you to turn me off, but I'm just trying to help y'all out. Turn me off, or I'm just letting you know there's young people in the room, okay? So, James, welcome to the show. Woo! I first want to say to you, thank you. Thank you for accepting this interview.
Thank you.
I know you're busy. I know the story. Jehovah. Yeah, but I want to tell you, and I know you're blind, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into that. But I just want to say you're blind here, but you are probably one of the most visionary people I've ever met. You can see beyond sight. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I met James when they were filming The Doctors at my studio at Epic Arts. And you have such a authentic posturing and just such a good heart considering what's been going on, right?
Right.
So I know you have a lot of stuff for us to talk about. I know that, I can ask you the questions, right?
Yeah,
that happen. So we're going to get into it.
With you.
Because what do you want, or what do you hope for this interview today? Why are you telling your truth tonight?
Telling my truth tonight because Chicago gun violence, we got innocent people getting shot, and I got 7 kids that need me, and I'm here, I'm live. So I want to tell my truth, tell my purpose of being here.
Yeah. So tell me about your kids.
I got 7 kids. My oldest just had a birthday, October 15th. Then I got another one coming October 27th. Then another.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You have 7 kids.
Yeah.
And you're getting ready to have 8?
No, my son James Bill.
Okay.
His birthday was October 15th.
Okay.
And my daughter Jamaria, her birthday was it's gonna be October 27th.
Okay.
Then Jada Bill, all my kids' name with a J too. So,
okay.
And Jada Bill, hers, November 14th. So instead of having parties, I told him I'm gonna do. Well, Jada, she up to ante because I told them everybody getting designers for their birthday.
So you had 7 kids, and you know all their birthdays and everything, right?
Yeah, I know their birthday, but sometimes I gotta think though. I gotta think sometimes.
That's awesome, bro. 7, that's beautiful. And I've seen them. I've seen them on Facebook. You always posting your kids and stuff.
Man, my son a football star, man.
Really?
Yeah, all the Catholic schools want him right now. He in 7th grade.
Wow.
Mount Carmel, Mary's. That's a Loyola coach.
Okay.
He's a dog out there on the football field. He been the 2018, I want to say, they won the championship. I was the head coach 2017. Took him to the championship. We lost. I was mad. I cried like a baby.
Because you birthing champions.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm a tough dad. Hey, man. That's how my granddaddy was with me. So, hey, you had to play football. So, my son, he played football, and he a good student. He got A's and B's. So, it's a lot of work. I'm trying to get my own TV show, man.
You get ready to have a movie. You're in pre-production.
I'm trying to reach out to Ricky Smiley.
You trust and believe me. You're on Allison Jordan with the Brain Truth, so you doing real good right now. You got Earl's in the studio too. Earl Winfrey,
that's what I'm talking about, man. They can follow me around and just see how I yell at my kids. Hey, I treat them. They get yelled, cursed. I'm like, you know how it go when you got kids, man. And then I got the little ones, daddy. You know how it be.
You have a baby. Now, how old is the
Yeah.
youngest?
Oh, that's Jelani.
How old is she?
She just turned 1. Right now. I'm going through something right now, bro. It's
You're gonna be
like,
going through a lot of stuff with them daughters, honey. Just get
yeah.
ready. So I have to ask you, are you officially, I know when you were doing the episode of the doctors, you guys were talking about the PTSD ganglion block. I think you were on there with light heavyweight champion Derek Durr.
Yeah, that's
So
one.
have you been officially
one.
diagnosed with PTSD or anything like that from a therapist or anybody?
No, not actually, but I've been reaching out to like doctors and stuff
Mm-hmm.
to really see what's going on with me.
Okay.
Not sleep, sweating at night.
So you are experiencing.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that because
Right.
Emily's with us and we have the brain gang. So I just want to kind of walk through though what happened. So can you kind of tell us about the first time you were shot? Like, can you walk us through
Yeah, I
what
can walk you through.
happened?
All right, the first time, like, give you detail on detail.
I mean, whatever you're willing to share. Like,
Okay,
what
okay.
happened?
Okay. I was at school. I really supposed to been at school,
Mm-hmm.
and you know me, I'll sneak back to the neighborhood to chill.
So you were how old?
I was 20 or 19. I think I was
Okay.
19, 18.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to college to do paid. And, I was coming back and forth to, I stayed in Woodridge with Derek Durr brother, me, him, Chris, and a group of friends. So I'm like, I'm going to go back to the hood real quick. Because my financial aid was like kind of messing up. I ain't had no money. So to be honest, the truth, I was really serving drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to go give me some money and go back to the crib. So I get into it with this guy. He tell me like, hey, didn't I tell you don't be serving on this block? I was like, what are you talking to? I was saying, I grew up over here. You ain't trying to listen to you. So I walked to go serve this lady, rest in peace, I know. So I walked to go serve her. So she like, baby, go the other way. I mean, he ain't gonna do nothing to me. I'll beat it. He don't want to fight. I'm telling him this. Like, you don't want to fight. So I called my home. I was like, hey, where y'all at? I just got into it with such and such. This was like before gun violence really started in Chicago. So I'm like, I just got into it with such and such. He was like, babe, just go the other way. I'm like, no, he don't scare me. He say, I'll be right back. I got something for you. He shot me. He shot. He shot him like, I tell him, come on, ain't nobody get hit. I lean my head like this way. I see my neck and I'm like, dang, I've been shot. So once I got to running, I ran to the crib, to my grandma's crib. So I knocked.
And you're
on
shot at this time.
Yeah, I was
and
shot.
you're running with a shot in your head.
I had a bullet in my head.
Where did they shoot you?
I got shot right here,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got shot back right here. I got
Okay.
shot like 4 times. So I run to the door, knock on the door. I tell my grandma, I'm like, I got shot. I told my cousin first. I tell Toya. So she passed out in the door, like, get the crown. So when she do that, I'm like, oh. So now my best friend, he's dead now. He drive me to the hospital. He fly me to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up in the hospital. I got the tube down my throat. But you know me, I ain't really thinking like I'm gonna die. I just I was living without a care. I'm like, it is what it is. So I'm like, it is what it is. So then I wake up, it's like 100 people in the hospital. So you know me, I got I can't talk. I got the tube down my throat. So they like let me write down everything. I'm like, how what you call it, morphine, what they give.
Yeah.
So I'm how that. So
you got
it's like 100 people. So I'm just writing anything down. Now mind you, I got my girl there. Me not knowing, I'm talking to other girls. I'm like, telling them, hey, look, I like you, such as.
So you just on that more
my auntie, my auntie like, what you tweaking? She
and
like,
then
take the pen from me. So they took the pen from me. I was laughing about it. My auntie nursing me, brought me back to life.
And so, how long were you in the hospital? And it was that the moment you were blind, or
No, that
this
wasn't
is
that
so
was
you
the
got
moment.
shot a second time?
I got shot a
in
second
the
time.
head.
I got shot
Now
a second
tell me
time.
when that happened. How old were you?
I just got shot. Second time was I was 34 years old.
And now,
Then
how old are you now?
I'm 35.
Oh, so this just happened
Yeah,
a year ago.
Yeah, a year ago.
Okay.
I'm sitting on the block. First, I went to the club Black Cat, and I'm chilling up there. Go to the club, come back. I'm like, me and a couple females, all the guys. We're like, all right, well, it was just me, my cousin, a couple of us. We're like, all right, we're gonna, because I had to be at work at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, I'm about to get ready to go to sleep. I'm like, but something just telling me, like, man, I'm like, man, I ain't follow my first man. I'm like, man, I should follow my first man. I'm like, I'm about to get ready. Going out. I went to the block, and next thing you know, a shot ring. So I'm like, hey, I can't see. I'm like, I can't see, but like I can see I'm looking out this eye before it really. I can see the person like shooting at us through the game from the game. I'm like, dang. And I'm like, man, it sometimes I always told myself I follow my first man, not my second. I follow my second man again.
Mm-hmm.
Failed me. So that's how I got shot. And so then once he shot me, it's like a group, all us right there. So I grabbed my friend. I'm like, man, I've been shot. I say, hey, just tell my kids I love them.
Wow.
And I say, let them know they daddy took good care of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they straight. I ain't got nothing to worry about because, when my kid's mother passed, she didn't have no insurance. So we had.
I want to get to that because you mentioned the mom then passed away. That was before you got shot or after?
No, it was before I got shot.
How long before that?
This was 2016. She died of a massive heart attack. She had a blood clot in her leg. Did not know. And she passed away. That was like the most death. That's the worst death I ever had to deal with. This my mama death wasn't even harder than this death. That was like, man, the lonely nights, crying.
Yeah.
Like, bro, all I did was hug my kids every night, cook. Like I cried and cried. I was lonely, like, because if you like her, this was like my high school sweetheart. Like we was messing around since we was in high school. And she was there when I first got shot. Like this girl, she used to walk to my grandma's house or get on the bus to come. Like I ain't had no insurance. Like that's how I knew it was real love. Mm-hmm. I ain't had no insurance, because once I turned a certain age, they cut you off Medicaid. So once I turned to a certain age, they cut me off, and she paid for my medicine. Wow. It was like $700. I'm like, man, I really love you. That's the reason I got all these kids, because I almost died without having no kids. I'm like, man, I'm gonna leave me a legacy on this earth.
And she's the mother of all your children?
No, she's the mother of my first 4 kids.
4, okay.
And then my first 4 kids.
And so she passed away. You were there with your 4 children.
Right.
And then you got shot for the second time.
Yeah.
And then you went blind.
Yeah, then I went blind.
And so are you fully blind or partially blind, or can you see anything? Or
I can see certain stuff. Let's put it like that. It depends on the lighting in the room. Mm-hmm. And if it's light out, like daylight outside, sun, I see real good.
Okay.
But at night I can see, but it's dark. It's like dark.
Okay. So thank you for sharing that. Are you okay?
Oh, man. Okay. Every time I tell that story about her, it like put a little soft spot in my heart. Because, that's my true love. Like, if I can get, I'll trade spots with her. She can have my life. I don't really need it. Man, that's how much she love her kids, and that's how much I love my kids. Mm-hmm. I rather see her here than me.
And how are your kids dealing and doing?
At first it was hard, but now it's still like a little ups and downs. Like they get through they got their moments. I had my mom's when I'm thinking of like her birthday coming up November 23rd. So it's gonna be like, hey, it's gonna be like it's my birthday because
You'll
that's
pull out everything. It's
yeah,
gonna be
man.
off the chain,
That's
right?
gonna be
I
off the
know. Well, you do
chain.
things off the chain. I
Her,
watch.
her mama, yeah, man. You know,
Yeah.
I always been like that. Like I look at life like, hey, life is like a deck of cards.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Ricky Smiley say, he like life is like a deck of cards, but he say, how long I gotta get it right. He say, it's like getting a bad hand, but I'm winning.
Wow.
Like getting a bad
So,
hand.
so I think, first of all, thank you for sharing that. I
Mm-hmm.
think you are extraordinary. I watch you on Facebook with your kids.
Mm-hmm.
You are an active father. You show up. You be dressing sharp too. Why you be
Oh
out
man,
there? I'll be like, dang, how many Gucci belts do you have, dude? Like, oh, can I borrow one?
man,
I
I
want to.
try to stay flat, man. Cause look, I can't see myself. I make sure I stay flat.
You are
And my
fly.
kids, I keep all seven of us. We match it any holiday.
Yeah, I see
keep
all
it
the
fresh.
pictures. I want you to come back with the kids because they
Oh,
be clean. And so first of all, I just want to commend you because I see it firsthand, right? So I want to kind of now bridge in Emily because I think it's important now that we start looking at the fact that I heard you say you've never been fully diagnosed
Right.
and you are, experiencing PTSD because that's what you did on the doctors.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure
I be
that
jumping in my sleep like.
and we got to talk about that. I want to bring Emily in about it because me being a person that was diagnosed with PTSD, clinical depression and anxiety disorder, we don't want you to end up in a hospital. We don't want you to end up going down when you have this responsibility to these kids. Okay. So we're here not just to talk about your story, but we want to talk about what we can do to stand for you because you got a lot of stuff that's about to be happening in your life. And we want to make sure to keep you healthy and whole. So Emily, I want you from a clinical perspective and talk about from your point of view, what you heard and talk to James a little bit about what we can do and what the next steps are. And then, people want to call in and talk to James and just say, a prayer or just commend him on everything.
Man,
Go for it.
I'm accepting all prayers.
Yeah, he's accepting all prayers. So anybody watching on Facebook or anywhere, call into this brother. But first, let's get Emily. I'm sorry, James. You wanted to say something?
Hey, I got one more thing. Can I say?
Yes, you can say.
Okay.
You can say whatever.
It's this lady. When I first got out the hospital, her name Miss White, and she called me like I want to say like 2 months after I've been home. She was looking for somebody else. She had the wrong number. So she was like, "Can I say a prayer for you?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And she said the prayer. I'm like, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate it." Now, excuse me, it's made a year. And every Monday, we used to have it on Wednesday. But now every Monday from this past year, we do Bible studies. Like I had it yesterday at 12, 1 o'clock. We do Bible studies. We talk about God. She like, give me like more info. I told her like, God must have sent you for a reason. So that's why I let her pray for me. And ever since then, she been praying for me. She gonna keep praying for me. And I'm gonna keep doing Bible study. And I'm gonna put God first before anything. And let my kids know I love them.
Yes.
Everything, man. I'm happy to be here though.
We're happy for you to be here. So Emily, what do you wanna say? And how can we talk about your perspective from a clinical standpoint and how we're going to get this man to where he needs to get to so he can sleep at night and other things that he said is going on? Unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, absolutely. First off, James, thank you so much for sharing all that. I cannot even imagine everything that you've been through. And what it took to kind of keep reliving that. That's so amazing. And just everything you're going through. I've got kids myself too, so I completely understand from that point as well. I would definitely recommend, if you can and if you're willing, getting into a therapist, just, even to just kind of talk about those things. So when we're talking PTSD, I heard a lot of, triggers definitely. So, any kind of loud noises, could trigger that, just kind of bringing you right back into that space. I heard you talking about, night sweats and intrusive thoughts, and those are definitely things that we see with PTSD,
Right.
As well as sleep disturbances. You're not able to sleep because, you're thinking about it, or it wakes you up. Avoidance of, places where it happened, or, certain people or certain things that just remind you of the incidents. Like, these are all things that you see with PTSD. Also, I heard a lot of the grief with your wife, and birthdays are hard, anniversaries are hard, the holidays are coming up, and I can imagine those are very difficult times as well.
Yeah, it was a point of time that when I came home from the hospital, I got shot. I was at a Great Depression. I wanted to kill myself though. I ain't gonna lie. The only thing that stopped me was them 7 kids I had.
When was this?
This was like after it was twice I wanted to kill myself.
Okay.
When my kid's mother died, I wanted to kill myself because I feel like, man, I'm like, why? People say you don't supposed to question God. I'm God. Why me? I don't care. Hey, God, I need answers. Like, even though He ain't answered me back, it's like I wanted to know, like, why me? Like, I cried, bro. Hug my daughter. I used to hug my daughter every night. Like, man, bro, looking at like, hey, you like your mama? Yeah. Man, I know your mama would go crazy. She was like, I was at a Great Depression. Then my little daughter, when I got shot this last time, my daughter Jada, it made me like I got to the point where I couldn't even walk around my site because they had to rush me through surgery. I ain't really get to all into detail because when I came home, the doctor, I went to, when I got shot, I went to Holy Cross.
Okay.
So Holy Cross hurry up and transfer me to Christ. But Christ not knowing, like, hey, check his eye, like, see what's going on. They just had to do. So when I was in there, I was like, I was getting like mistreated, all that. They was like, we go. So once they got me stable enough, got me out of ICU, I ended up going. I think I was still in ICU, but I wasn't like in the real bad part. So I'm in there coughing up blood and stuff. I'm like, they supposed to rush me to surgery, but they didn't. So I ended up, once I got discharged from Mount Sinai. Once I got discharged from Mount Sinai, I ended up going to my doctor where I work at. Went to Rush, and Rush was like, they saw it, they looked at me like, hey, you need to come back. You got to go through surgery. Like, you got to hurry up and get here. I'm trying to see how you pronounce retina. Are you
Your retina?
Yeah, it told, like, all this told, like, if you
So the second time you were shot, you got shot in the eye?
It got shot. I got shot right here, and it came out through here. So you see this eye a little messed up.
Okay.
Like that's why I wear my glasses. I don't like people. I ain't ashamed of it though. I don't like people looking into my eyes like that.
Okay.
Like it came out right here. So
you can't see out of either eye?
No, I can see out of
a little bit.
A little out of this.
Okay.
It ain't good. I can't read. But I master everything to do like stuff on my own.
I know.
This, like, I got shot right here. You can see right here.
Yeah, I see it.
And it came out. And so that's why I don't really like, I wear glasses all the time. I don't like people looking at my, but it is what it is. And the bullet fragment like messed this eye up. And the bullet, it's still a bullet in my head right here.
James, you are literally, I like I said before, when I met you at Epic, I was blown away by your spirit. I mean, I'm like every show, I get emotional. I'm sorry.
Right.
But you are such an inspiration. First of all, being a man, right?
Yeah.
And being a African-American man. And the things that you've gone through in your life, and you are not bitter, and you're not angry, and you're not trying to retaliate, and just to sit here and hear you talk about the love of your life and talk about your children. And, God definitely has anointing on your life. I know you know that. And I know that you have a real purpose. And so anybody that's watching, I know before when we were at Epic, I kind of encouraged you to start a fund or a website or something.
Right.
Do you still have that website, or is you still have that?
I'm trying to get it back going all the way. Cause I ain't been having my support system.
Well, then we're gonna, you know what? You call me so that we can make sure
Okay.
that we get that going. We can put it on our website. Typically, I want to put out my Cash App. But guys, I say if there's anybody that wants to donate to this brother, he has 7 kids, that he's a single father. Well, for 4 of them, because I think you have another mother for the other 3.
Yeah, I got my other kid's mother.
Mhm.
But it's like really they stay with me, but they don't. My other kids,
Yes.
like they always at my house, so it's like. But the
I see it on Facebook.
yeah,
I'm a Facebook
my
follower,
4 main
stalker,
ones,
FYI.
they always at my house. And
Okay.
my first 4, and then my daughter and my son, they always at my house.
So you have a Cash App or Zelle or anything?
Yeah, I got
Say it right now. And if we have anybody that want to call in, 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953. Emily, do you want to share anything or say anything else?
Yeah. Just how have you been coping, James? Like, what kind of coping skills are you using? How are you able, to kind of make it through day to day, especially, when times get really hard? I heard you say that you had a lot of depression, which I want to also just say that is completely normal given everything that you've been through, and it's okay.
I've been coping. Like I just pray. I pray to God. I pray to Jehovah. Man. I thank him every day, and that's how I got through the last. And then that's how I got through everything I was going through, and I got a job and got on my feet when I had lost my kid mother. Like to forget, so I can forget about a lot of things, like cause like me like not forget about her, but like clear my mind. I wasn't working. While I was working, I was working at Ford. I lost my job. When I lost my job at Ford, I ended up going to Weather Tech. When I got the phone call about my girl, I was on. This is what happened. I lost my job at Ford.
Mm-hmm.
So my kid's mother, she was like scratched out. She was like, I don't know, because she ended up losing her job. She used to work at Ultra Food. So she ended up losing her job. I'm like, man, don't worry about it. I said, I'll make it happen here. Yeah, I went to Weather Tech when they got me a job, and so I can make it happen. But I'm on my way to my job. I got that phone call, and that's the worst phone call.
You got
ever.
the phone call about?
She said, my kids, her mother called me. She said, go check on Ranita. All she kept saying, she don't want to die. And you know what I did? I dropped everything. I told the job, hey, I can't come in. I got to get to my kids' mother. And when I walked in Holy Cross, the man told me, the doctor told me, he said, they brought me to the room. I knew it was serious. He said, hey, your kid's mother said, we brought her back to life 6 times. Man, I lost it. I said, I ain't never went through nothing like this. And that's like, I lost it. I really lost it.
Wow. I mean,
and
when you say you lost it, you were emotionally, it was just overwhelming.
Like, man.
How far are you from that moment though? Like, do you ever find yourself being in that I lost it moment now, today?
Yeah, but I look at my kids and they bring the most out of me. Like they make me what I am today. Like me be having kids, and that's how I go. Like with everything, like being around my kids is like a blessing. It's a blessing to me. Like, hey, I love them, and then coaching football too. I do that too. I coach my son. I still coach to this day, blind and all.
Okay, we've got a call. Hi, this is the Brain Truth. Alice with Allison Jordan. I've got James Bell in the studio. Who's calling?
Hey, Allison. Hi, Mr. Bell. This is Dr. Gettings calling, member of the Brain Gang. I was calling to, one, just thank you so much for sharing your testimony and your truth tonight.
Right.
And just to kind of add, as a mental health professional, seeing people every day who have PTSD, that once we have survived a trauma, sometimes it's very challenging for us to get back to a place of normalcy. And a lot of what you've talked about tonight, as far as, not being able to sleep and the adrenaline that remains high when we have trauma. I just wanted to know, do you see that showing up in any other areas, how you function day to day in life and with your kids? We know that people with PTSD struggle with sleeping at night, flashbacks, but are there other areas where you see trauma or surviving trauma, I should say, having an impact on how you interact with your kids or just day-to-day functioning?
No, I yell at like yelling like that type.
No, not necessarily like how you respond to your children, but I mean, just in general, like I think a lot of people sometimes when they've endured a trauma, the changes that they see in themselves can sometimes be scary and can make them feel, basically like they're not themselves. So
sometimes I feel like I feel like a little out my body, like I jump a lot, like, and then like I still like imagine the moment when I got shot. Right. It's like I'll be like, like dang, how did I take a bullet to the head and survive? Like, and it's still in my head. Like I be shaking, like, like dang, like how did I survive? And like I be thinking like, like a shaky feeling.
Right. Okay. And I know you were mentioning earlier, as far as your retina, it sounds like you were explaining what is referred to as retinal detachment.
Yeah, it got detached.
Right. Like you had retinal detachment. We always identify the physical, symptoms of trauma, but if you have to explain to someone what a violent act like that has done to you emotionally, how would you describe it?
It got like dreams and nightmares. It's like I done had like jumping, like scared. Like I'd be scared for my kids to be outside half the time. Like I'd be like, even though you might see me like going out to the club, like I'll be like, hey, get me out of here. I gotta go. I can't stay out here. I gotta move around. I be quick talking like, hey, look, a fight break out. Hey, I can't sit right here. I can't see. You gotta move me around. You know, I be like scared for my life half the time. Like I be paranoid. People come up to me, yeah, what's up? I know the city of Chicago. Hey, what's up, James? What's up? Who is this? Who is you? Where I know you from? I be paranoid.
Yeah. And I think it's really important that we talk about that, especially for our listeners, because a lot of the people who I work with who have survived trauma, they feel isolated because of their level of anxiety and paranoia, and because of the barrier that creates with them being able to socialize the way they did before the traumatic event. So, and we know that loneliness and isolation increases depression.
I be telling them, hey, stop. Like I don't like when people take all day, get in the car, get paranoid. Like, hey, get in the car, pull out. I can't see. I can't protect myself how I used to be. So I really be paranoid. Like, I gotta go.
Right. Well, I think it's important that we continue this conversation about trauma because so many people survive trauma. And even though, you've had several traumas that you mentioned tonight, that you're clearly managing the aftermath of that on a daily basis.
Right.
And I think what's most important is how you're working with your children, how you show up for them every day.
Yes.
And, and just being a survivor.
Yes.
Man, they ain't asked, I show up because they ain't asked to be here. And at the end of the day, this what I want to have a lot of kids. Like, this ain't like I was like, hey, I'm gonna have the kids and I take care of them. Nah, they my responsibility. So
Right.
and all my kids, this is gonna be my son got playoff game Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
All my daughters cheer. All my kids' sons and them play football. Like, and you know how much I had to spend I want to say about $2,000 for them to play football this year.
And you go to work. You have a job at Rush Hospital, right?
Yeah, I don't work there no more.
Okay.
I'm technically right now, I'm still at Rush until they release me. But you know, my boss and them love me so much. They like, hey, we team James Bill. They trying to give me time to see can my sight come back.
You think your sight can come back, or are they thinking it can come back?
The doctors say Kim told me to pray to God and just keep praying. They just saying like it's really like they sent me to the art institute. So I missed my appointment, so I gotta schedule another. I gotta to get more help. Like I'm trying to reach out to people that can get help from if people can help me. All I just need to be able to, I don't even need to be able to drive. I just need to be able to read and look at my kids even more better. Like I can see a little bit. I was holding my little daughter alone. Like when I first came home, I'm like, I can see you now, baby. I'm talking to her like I can see you. I'm like, Daddy, I can see you.
We have a really good question, Dr. Gettings. Thank you. I don't know if you want to stay on, if you have anything else you want to say, but one of our listeners asked a question, is how are the children's mental and emotional status? And are they in therapy?
They need therapy though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I've been talking to the schools and stuff, to try to get them therapy, cause it like when they lost their mama, they needed therapy. I had reached out to school, when nobody really trying to help me. So I'm like.
So we've got Emily here, and Emily's a therapist, and there's a difference. So Emily's a therapist, like we say, she's trained and licensed in cognitive behavioral therapy. You can talk about that. And then Dr. Gettings, she's a psychiatrist, so she's a medical doctor. So he needs both, or can y'all break it down? Because we need to get him help in the family. What can we do? Brain gang. We're going to need y'all to do y'all gang symbols now. Come on now.
Gang, gang.
Let's get it going. Crack-a-lack. So what we going to do for this beautiful man and his kids?
I'll just say one thing and then pass it to Emily.
Okay.
As far as being a psychiatrist, I'm also a child psychiatrist. And just to speak to, first, let me just say, as far as helping you, I would encourage you to pursue therapy. You already mentioned some of the barriers that exist with access and coverage when it comes to reimbursement and having insurance, which is a huge problem in our nation. A lot of people do not get services because they don't have insurance. For therapy differs, but as a psychiatrist working with children, my main role for sure is evaluations, making recommendations, and when indicated, medicine. Therapists who are trained to work with children provide family therapy focused on trauma, and I definitely encourage you to pursue that for your children for sure. And I was also just going to say for you individually to seek your own help. We had Dr. Rita last week who was talking about CBD, which I use a lot for individuals
I do too.
with PTSD to help with insomnia. A lot of people have benefited from that. So when you have a trauma and your fight or flight system, or what we call your stress response system, is so dysregulated, using CBD to get your body back in balance through the endocannabinoid system can be really helpful.
And I have a dispensary for CBD, and I will be giving him some samples as soon as Dr. Rita tell me which ones, and I'll give you some. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
We'll start with you having a gift, and she can actually help with the dosing and for the kids. They have seasonings, they have spices for your food. They have topical stuff, gummies for the kids.
Wow.
We gonna set you out for that. So that's my little.
It really helps.
Yeah.
With anxiety.
It really helps.
I appreciate it, man.
I'm gonna give you a gift bag of gummies and everything with the instructions. And then Emily, do you want to chime in? Thank you, Dr. Gettings. You rock.
No problem. Nice to meet you, Mr. Bell.
Nice
Thanks
to meet
so
you,
much
Dr.
again
Brain
for joining
gang.
us tonight.
Brain gang.
And
Gang,
Dr. Rita,
gang.
she's watching too. Hey,
Gang,
Dr.
gang.
Rita. Thank you, Dr. Gettings. Emily, so what can you do from a cognitive behavioral? Like, when can we set him up? I know Sandra's in the building too. We got gang members everywhere. We've got Sandra she's also has a center, her own private center. She's out there in Homewood. Right. Hey, come in here, Sandra. We got the gang. We ain't trying to be fancy up in here.
Yeah,
we all here to stand for you. Come on in here. We got another gang member. This is Sandra. Right here. Come here.
Like, get in the room. All right, here we go.
So we've got Dr. Gettings, you heard, and we need to get him in therapy. I don't know how much of the show you've heard. Emily is here. His kids and him need therapy.
Absolutely.
Period. All of them.
Absolutely.
So between the two of you guys, what are we doing? I'm going to give them some gummies. Dr. Rita and I are going to put something together until we find out through the cognitive behavioral side. And then Dr. Gettings can do something as far as medication management. So what can you tell this young man?
Well, definitely therapy is needed. And
Come down
I didn't hear how old your kids are, age-wise.
One just made 13. One about to make 12. Jada about to be 5. And my other son, he about to be 9, Jamarion. And Mila about to be 7. And my other son, he about to be 4. And my last baby gonna be 2.
Okay. So we definitely can work with them, even if we have to do some family sessions and kind of work with them through the trauma, through grief. Grief work is really important. If we don't grieve appropriately, that carries on. And one thing adds on to another thing, adds on to another thing. And so, we got to get them in therapy. And I'll make sure that you have the number to Tranquil Journey, which is my site out in Flossmoor. And we have myself as well as a bunch of clinicians. There's 5 more clinicians we're all prepared to assist you in any way we can.
I appreciate
it. God.
I appreciate everything, man.
Your kids will love it. Like, we have really creative interventions. It's not just about sitting around talking. It's about really expressing, figuring out, allowing them to express their emotions creatively.
Because my daughter, she really needed my 12-year-old, because she be like to be a little rebellion. Now her mama,
Yeah. Well,
so she like acting bad, like out of anger.
Yeah.
Because she don't have that mother figure like she wanted to.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hi, this is The Brain Truth. This is Allison Jordan. I've got James Bell in the studio. Who's calling?
Oh, this is Dr. Gettings. I somehow got disconnected.
You were still staying with us. Oh, I thought you was like, I'm like, I got all of my people. Okay. So we got more calls coming. Okay. Oh, we got more calls coming, Dr. Gettings.
Yeah.
So I got to let you go.
Okay. Go ahead.
But thank you, Dr. Gettings. You heard she's here for you. We're all standing for you. We're all going to stand for you.
Absolutely.
Do you know what this means? This is all very, very powerful. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing, James.
I appreciate everything.
We have to stand for one another. Mental health. Give statistics like what is going on with mental health now. Well, and I think just with COVID, in and of itself, and the isolation that people have had, that has increased the numbers of people needing mental health treatment. At the same time, the amount of providers has decreased, so it's very difficult sometimes to get in. I have people calling my office to say do you actually have openings, because we're on waiting list places, or people aren't taking new patients. And so, we are definitely available, and I have a great team of people, and they maneuver their schedules around, and, they're all part-time, but they act like they're full-time, because they always take people, even when they say they're full. Right. So, we try to, my schedule is jam-packed as well, but we are always trying to, come up with creative ways. Like I said, if we can do group family with them. Your 12-year-old, we're actually starting a group with young preteens, young teenage girls, to kind of talk about self-esteem and all of those types of issues. And that she might be really good for a group like that.
Right. She need all the help she can, man.
Oh my gosh, you guys
it.
winning. Emily, thank you. I know she just came for the ride. Y'all just gotta stay camera ready now. You just gotta stay camera ready. You look beautiful. But thank you, Sandra. Tranquil Journey, located in Flossmoor, Illinois.
The intake number is 708-274-1796.
Do it one more time.
708-274-1796.
Ron,
we take all kinds of insurances. And if you don't have insurance, still give us a call and we work out, Now,
I'm not putting you on the spot when I tell you. So with James, he may or may not be able to. Okay. I just got to put it out there. We'll take care of it. We're going to take care of you.
We're going to take care of
that, James?
I heard you.
We're going to take care
appreciate it.
And we'll make sure that somebody picks you up and gets you where you got to get to. We are standing for you here at the Brain Truth and the Brain Gang.
Absolutely.
We love you.
See, that's a blessing.
Okay. Absolutely. All right. Emily, do you want to share anything? Because we're rounding it off. Thank you. Thank you. Brain Gang. Can we come up with a symbol? Can you help us, James? Like, what's the Brain Gang be like? Brain Gang. I don't know. We'll work on it. Anyway, Emily, you want to say anything?
Yeah, just thank you, Sandra. That's amazing. Thank you, Dr. Gettings. I fully believe, therapy for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Natasha's like, gang, gang. Well, everybody, we can sit here and talk all night. I know that we love to. Thank you, Rhonda. Yes, he must work with his therapy. I have faith in him. So you've got people who are praying for you and are making comments that are standing for you, James. So
I appreciate all the prayers.
So do you want to leave us with any parting wonderful words, anything you want to say about tonight and about the next stage and the next season that we're going into with you on this healing journey?
Man, I just want to thank y'all for even having me on the show. Like, it's a blessing in the sky. Like, at the end of the day, y'all could have did anything, had anybody on the show, but y'all got me on the show.
Well, you're a superstar.
Yeah, Mr.
We booked a star.
Big Bag, Mr. Big Bag.
All right. Well, I want to say thank you. Thank you to all my people. I want to give a shout out in the studio. Ariel, what's up? She's in here doing my social media. I'm getting fancy, y'all. I'm getting fancy. That's Sandra's daughter. She's going to be helping. I got D Champs in the building, my manager. He's also have a fight coming up February 25th in Indiana.
I'll be there.
We'll all be there. Hallelujah.
We'll be there.
And so next week, guys, the show that we've been waiting for is going to be really dope. It's going to be with Kokla, who's one of our Brain Gang, and the prophetess June. You guys met her at the Brain Gang introduction, and they will be sharing her secrets, which is Kokla's secrets of childhood trauma and a bipolar diagnosis. So we're going to be talking about bipolarism, and Prophet June will be on with her prophetic perspective and offer spiritual support. And Dr. Ivy Hilton is asking for 5 minutes to do a little brainwave emotional wellness guided meditation. So we're going to have like a lot of fun. Dr. Ivy Hilton is a world-renowned OM specialist. She does the Sound Spa every Thursday on Facebook. And so she's going to be, coming on later to kind of tell us about how sound and the brain and emotional wellness with vibration and music. So we're going to have us a good time. Wear y'all yoga pants next week, and we're going to get into it. Thank you, James, for your faith, hope, and courage. That's from Kokla, one of our Brain Gang. And Natasha said the same. Yes, we love you, James.
I love y'all too.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to The Brain Truth with Allison Jordan on intellectualradio.com and iHeartRadio station. We'll see you guys next week on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Standard. Thanks for tuning in, and we love you. We love you, Brain Jules. We love you, Brain Jules.